From the staff of Fitchburg Access Television, welcome to another episode of North Central Journal, featuring the cities and towns, the people, and the events here in North Central Massachusetts. And hello again, I'm Scott May, and welcome to North Central Journal. And I'd like to introduce to you a couple of ladies who are here to talk about the Cancer Support Fund of Central Massachusetts. We have Sandy Bowers and Tammy Dwelly.
Hey.
And it's great to have you both here.
Thank you.
Longtime friends of ours, and mine in particular. Sandy and I go back to about that high, or maybe a little higher, but a long time.
Back in the 60s.
Yeah, our dads both worked at Fitchburg Gas and Electric, so we've been around for a while and have a lot of memories. And the Cancer Support Fund of Central Massachusetts, a passion for both of you. And I want to talk about just a little bit of the history. How did this all begin, and when did it begin?
Well, I think basically all four of us used to promote another fundraiser for cancer in the area, and we were just a little disappointed because a lot of the money was going away from the area, and we felt that people were donating so much of it, but people right here in our hometowns couldn't get access to any of that money. Mm-hmm. So we were sociable anyway, so we went out for supper one night and we said, I wonder how much work it is to start our own nonprofit. So we went home, we all had our little job to do, and
2018 was our first official fundraiser.
2018, yeah.
Yep. Talked to the social workers and nurse navigators, case managers at Burbank, the Simon Sinai Cancer Center, at Hayward Hospitals in Athol and Gardner, just to kind of get a feel for what their thoughts were and what the needs were and how easy was it for them to get things they needed for their patients. And we found out that there were a lot of needs that weren't being met. A lot of organizations didn't fund things that were needed by patients in treatment, and I guess there's so many people that have had cancer, and there's so many issues that have come up once you don't have your job, or you might lose your health insurance, or you can't pay your bills, and then you can't concentrate on getting better. So that's where we come in.
And also I think another thing is that we fill in that gap between they need it now and when they can get it through other agencies, yes. You know, when they file stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't do you any good if you can't pay the rent and you got to go hit the street, you know, but there's an agency out there that will help you pay that. So we fill in that gap in between.
And we'll talk in some detail about that. But Sandy, you mentioned the four of us. Who are the other two people that you're referring to?
Sharon and Patty.
Sharon and Patty?
Yep.
Do they have last names or just?
I could never pronounce either one of them. Sharon
Marovich and Patty Warren. Yes, Patty works for Workers Credit Union as a senior training officer, and Sharon is a chiropractor and has her own practice in Fitchburg.
So the four of you got together. You had this desire to kind of do something for people who needed access. Needed help, really, is what it comes down to.
Needed help in a different way that wasn't necessarily being met by some of the other organizations that work with these, you know, the cancer centers. Mm-hmm. And having no place else to turn, or not having a place to turn where they could get it easily, we make it easy. It's all confidential, and we have no real gray area. It's like the social workers vet all the applications. We don't have any idea who we're helping.
Specifically, what is the goal of the Cancer Support Fund?
To make sure that all the patients that are going through cancer treatment are financially stable enough to concentrate on their health and allow us to help with anything else that is needed financially. Now,
do any personal experiences in your lives come into play here that inspired you to move on with this idea?
Well,
I know we've all been touched by it.
We've all been touched by cancer, no doubt, myself included. But one very specific instance, when I was taking my brother-in-law for treatment in Fitchburg, patients that didn't have money to pay for their prescriptions. You know, you're sitting in a big room with all the chairs and people are having chemo, so you're overhearing conversations. So patients that are trying to figure out which prescription they can fill when they leave because they can't afford to fill all of them.
Yeah.
Patients that got a ride there, couldn't get a ride home. The nurses are actually talking, like, at the end of the day about if somebody could drive this
Give 'em a
person
ride,
back
yeah.
to Gardner. Or even my brother-in-law himself just saying he couldn't imagine if he had had a wife and family and didn't, at that point, he never went back to work after the day he found out he had cancer. He couldn't ever go back. But what if he had a wife and kids? What would they do? Who would take care of them? What would happen? So I guess I'm sure there's a million other stories like that too, and I'm sure Sandy has her own, but that was my particular one that brought it all to a head.
So you were out having dinner, you had this idea. Who provided you with the guidance to put
Nothing.
this-
We went home and we all.
Who was the attorney that?
Oh, it was Bob Antonioni.
Uh-huh.
He was such a sweetheart. I work with him on our condo association, and I sent him an email and I just said, not Westbrook Commons, personal. And I just said, if we could get a discount rate, that would be awesome because we're a nonprofit and we're just starting. And he came back with us and said, you can have it for nothing. He had a woman who was working with him who had just completed another nonprofit. And so she's the one that got all of us together, and we went over all of our mission and everything that we had to have in there's 4 of us, so each one of us has an office on the board. And unfortunately, we got it all in place, and she went to file it in Boston, and COVID hit.
Oh,
But you know what? The good Lord provides. And we went ahead and did it anyway. And, we've been so blessed since then.
now let's talk
So
about
blessed.
the support services provided by the Cancer Support Fund and how you came up with those services. Where did those ideas come from?
A lot of that came from talking to the staff that works with the patients at the hospitals.
Okay.
Things that were typically needed, or just in general, like think of your own family. If you don't go to work and you don't have your paycheck,
What do you need?
what do you need?
What do you need, yeah.
What do you need? And then add to that, okay, now you have cancer, you have to go back and forth to treatment, you might have to change your diet, you have copays and deductibles on your health insurance, you may not have a job, so now you've got to pay all your health insurance. And it was just us coming up with some things and then talking to them about things as far as other organizations they can work with, that they can easily get these things, or other organizations that it takes a lot more time to get them. And there could be a specific need. It's not like being in the big cities where you hop on a bus or hop on a train. And in all honesty, when you're going through chemo, do you want to hop on a bus or hop on a train? It's hard. So we just tried to find things that would fit for this area, and so far it's gone really, really well.
Now, does it include rent, mortgage, utilities, things like that? Is that support you provide as well?
Yep. Yep. We leave it up to, basically, like Tammy said, the social workers and the caseworkers know where their needs are needed most. So they refer that to us on like an application. But we pretty much covered just about everything: food, gas cards,
Rent.
mortgage payments.
We run into something new
Insurance.
recently. Yep. During COVID, people that lost their literally one day, when the state and everything got shut down in the state. Some of them got furloughed, some got laid off.
Yeah.
Trying to get unemployment at that point when everybody else was trying to get it, and then they had no health insurance because their company wasn't paying that anymore. We got social, and then guess what? I just got diagnosed with cancer. So we had a couple during that time where they needed to have money to pay to get into like the neighborhood health connectors, some of the programs that the state offered. So we were able to just, what do you need? When do you need it? And drop a check off with the social workers. Like nobody gets cash. Like we pay bills, very specific bills. But that was one thing.
And the rest are cards, like gift cards.
Gift cards to various
grocery gift cards, stuff like that.
But pretty much whatever they've needed it. Just think of anything that on any given day that you need and you have no money to get it, but you need it to live, and that's where we come into play.
Now, how do you determine applicants? I mean, how do you find the people that you're providing services for?
We don't find them. The social workers
Find us.
Social workers,
Yeah.
The
okay.
social workers find us. We deal with, it's either
Okay.
social workers, case managers, sometimes nurse navigators if a social worker isn't there, lead oncology nurse directors, depending. We have different people at the different places we deal with, but it's all up to them. They have the applications.
Okay.
They meet with the people. They vet them. They determine what we fit for them, and then they determine where there's other organizations that they might be able to get other things for them.
Oh, I see,
And
okay.
they email it or fax it to us, and then we in turn, we sit down and go over it. we also, we try to keep track of other things that are going on in the area. There's different
Food
towns.
pantries
food
too, yep.
pantries, lists of places where people can get different things, and try to keep the social workers and all of them in the loop, because they don't, we see some of that on social media. They don't have enough hours in a day to do their jobs.
Yeah, sure.
So we try to get information like that to them, and if anything we see that comes up that we feel is helpful, we forward it along to them. But basically, right now, if we walk out of here and somebody's emailed us an application and they say emergency, we need this now, it's one of us literally is going to leave here and go get whatever they need and bring it to them.
Since the inception, 2018, you mentioned, Tammy, how many people do you guesstimate that you've been able to assist?
I think she said it was over 120.
We're at 128 as
Yeah.
of last week, which comes up to over $110,000.
110,000?
Over 110,000 that we've supplied in assistance.
And speaking of that money, the funding, where does your funding come from? Are you all independently wealthy, or is it?
Yeah. Well, in a way, Scott, we are.
Yeah.
We're independently wealthy because we've been blessed by a wonderful group of people who believe in what we do.
Yeah.
They like the fact that we keep our money local, number one. And we do a lot of fundraising. And we have fun doing it. That's the good thing. Anything for a party, we'll do it. But our public, I have to tell you, we can't say enough about the people that not only support our fundraisers, but also we've got people that automatically have $50 or $100 taken out of their retirement every month and send it to us on an automatic payment plan. Or people will just send us a check. I think of your mom and mother-in-law, every once in a while, oh, I got a check, yeah, let's put it in there, and it just, people are beautiful about that. And I think whether they've been touched by cancer and they're happy that they're doing well, or they're happy that they weren't touched by cancer, and this is another way that they can put their support out there with us.
And you have support, you talked about supportive organizations,
Yep.
and maybe there's some business support. Do you want to call attention to those?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're very welcome to do so.
You pretty much don't.
Let's shout out.
Way back in the day, when we first started, there were two businesses in downtown Gardner that were kind of right on our bandwagon right from the get-go. Patty Bergstrom of the Velvet Goose and Ann LeBlanc and Ellen LeBlanc at John's Sports Shop. Whenever they had anything going on in the city, we were invited to be a part of it, set up a table, set up a booth. Anytime I was in Patty's shop, she could not wait to introduce me to, she kept flyers. They both have flyers at the shops they hand out to people. They just like what we do. They just like what it's all about. They're not corporate America. They are mom and pop shops.
Uh-huh.
And in their mind, we're a mom and pop nonprofit. And it kind of has trickled from there. We've received grant funding. Workers Credit Union has sponsored several of our events. IC Credit Union has sponsored. They had a giving plan, which we were nominated for. Women's Circle of Giving, we were nominated for. A couple of friends, Brenda Malloy, and Carla Roy nominated us for that a couple of years ago. And that was big chunks of change that came in, very helpful and very useful. Town Fair Tire here in Leominster, they nominated us for their giving fund. We got that grant twice. So it's
And the Elks have adopted us?
And the Elks have adopted.
Oh, you
The Elks
really?
Riders in Gardner have adopted us for
Their charity,
their annual motorcycle run every year. But we sometimes, I go to the post office box and we've had large checks in there from grants that were pointed towards us, designated us, but we have no idea where it came from or who sent it to us. It's just a letter stating that it was directed towards us, and
The person wants to stay
The person
anonymous.
wants to stay anonymous, so I don't.
Really? Wow.
Yes, and it's happened a couple times.
Must be our
and
cute faces.
Apparently, I don't know, but it's a unique thing to do, I guess, but everybody appreciates it, and hopefully we'll keep making a big difference for a lot of people.
Now, if someone is so inclined and would like to donate, how do they go about doing that?
Well, we have a P.O. box if they'd like. They would make their check out to CSFCM, which is just short for
Cancer
Short
Support
for-
Fund
Yeah.
of Central
Yeah,
Mass?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then they would send it to P.O. Box 607 in Westminster, Mass. And that's all you got to do.
And that's 01473, by the
Yes.
way, is the zip
Yes.
code. man.
Yes.
I don't know why I know that, but I
I
do.
can't imagine after all the years you've been
And
in town.
we always acknowledge gifts that we get like that of the heart, because it means a lot.
Now, not only financial financial support, what about, there's 4 of you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Would you welcome more volunteer support?
Well, we do bring in a lot of extra help, like
You do, okay.
Tammy, excuse me, I'm sorry. Patty has a group of women that I guess they have to get hours in for their work, and they'll come and they'll help us with like our meat raffles. And then, Tammy's got people that she knows that will say, oh, I'll come up and I'll help with the golf tournament, and Sharon too. So it's a group of, we're 4, but there's a group of us
Yeah.
that keep us going.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We usually have more people than we end up
Yeah.
having jobs for. So we try to.
That's actually a good
and
thing,
It is
yeah.
a
It
really
is.
good thing,
It
but
is.
it's like, so we feel bad. Like if somebody try to make sure that if somebody wants to do something, but you hate to have somebody come and there's nothing to.
Yeah, we find
to
a
do.
job for them.
But yes, we're
Well,
very, very lucky.
How many fundraising events annually do you guess that you put together for the purpose of raising money?
Yearly? Probably about 8 or 10.
Yeah,
8 or
some
10.
of them-
Between, I was thinking
Yeah.
the calendars. And,
Right, and some of them we actually set up information booths and we have raffles
Yeah.
going. So it is fundraising, but a lot of it is more, it's equally as important to us as to get the information out and give people flyers and let them know what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Now, we're recording this program early, but it's going to air as it is now in September. So we are in September. You just finished the fundraising golf tournament. How many tournaments have you had now?
The September tournament was our third.
Your third, yeah?
Yep, and we've had, so far, well, we originally were going to start our first one, but COVID hit, so that year kind of got pushed back, and we waited a couple more years until we were sure that COVID was not going to interfere. So finished our third, and again, like our goal, we would love to have as many golfers as possible, but the Woods of Westminster has been very welcoming, and we've been up there. We usually have 70 to 80 golfers, have a huge raffle after, have a great meal. It's a really fun tournament. We have, a Beat the Pro. We have different, like you got to find colored golf balls on the course, and you can get a cash prize if you do. We try to just make everything fun as possible.
Now, a lot of time and effort on your part goes into this.
Well, we're a team. There's times that like Sharon's our basket queen. She can put together baskets like you would not believe. We bring her all the stuff, she puts them all together. And so everybody has a part that they shine in.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it work so well between the 4 of us. We always work together on everything.
Absolutely.
Now, we just talked about the September golf tournament. Let's look ahead now, because we are in the month of September. What do you have coming up through the calendar year ahead?
October, we're going to be at the Westminster Crocker Festival. We always have a booth set up there to pass that information. We usually have a scratch ticket raffle or other raffles going on at the booth. November 16th, we actually have our own vendor and craft fair that is going to be at the Westminster Community Center. I think this is our 4th year of doing this one. Again, great place to do it. People really like it. We have various vendors that have been with us for years and/or crafters. Again, volunteers are very much needed the night before setting up and the day of, and carrying everybody's stuff in and helping people carry stuff out. That's a long day, and that's.
That sounds
it's like-
familiar, yeah.
It's fun, and it's not necessarily one of our biggest financial fundraisers.
Yeah.
But people love it, and we just love it. It gives us a chance to talk to a lot of people and share our information with a lot of people. So it's not always about getting as much money. It's about getting people to know who we are and what we're doing.
Now, you mentioned the community center. Is that the senior center
Yes.
as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
Okay.
it
So
goes
it's
by
West
two-
Main Street in Westminster?
Yes, correct.
And,
And we also do it like a Super Bowl grid.
oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. It starts out as 1, and Sharon always manages to fill up 3. So that's always fun, too.
Yeah, and then we always have a spring meat raffle at the VFW in Westminster. They're amazing hosts, and again, a lot of locals, a lot of people that just, that have come out for it every year, and it's meat and other things. We don't just
Cheese.
raffle off meat.
Oh, cheese, yes, you have to have
Gotta
cheese.
have cheese
Stretches-
gotta have
and
cheese,
stretches pickles.
Gotta have all that. Vincent's is really good about giving us a great selection of
Which
meat.
is the market in Westminster,
Yep.
yeah.
Westminster,
So
yeah.
they
So you
are-
have to have, you seem to have quite a connection with the town of Westminster with this.
Yeah.
I think some of us live there,
Could be.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, and even if we do events outside of town, it's like you
Yeah.
typically fall back to the people that have supported. I mean,
Yeah.
all of us, yourself included, have been part of fundraising for many, many years for
Yeah.
many different organizations, and the people that have supported you all along are the people we tend to go back to all the time, and they don't throw us out, so that's really nice.
What I didn't ask, and what communities, what residents of this area are eligible to be helped by the Cancer Support Fund? Is it Central
Anybody
Mass?
who's getting treatment through those 3 centers, Athol, Haywood Hospital, their center,
Okay.
and then Burbank.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah, we have people that, like, I think somebody we just helped was from Ringe
Uh-huh.
and was being treated at Haywood.
Yeah, it's not
You know.
it's not where you live, it's where
It's
you're
where you're
in
getting your
treatment.
help.
I
Yeah.
see, okay.
Yeah.
So Athol, Haywood and Gardner, and Burbank here in Pittsburgh?
Yep.
Okay. And again, those, if people are filling out applications, they do so at those different locations?
They have to see the social, yeah, the
Yeah.
applications aren't available online, like, which is very similar to some of the bigger organizations
Yeah.
that you can go to. It's all vetted, and that's how we can keep it confidential, because we don't know, like, when they send us copies of bills that they need, you know, they're asking us to pay for patients, like, all the information is usually, the names is redacted.
blackened
We
out,
don't
yeah.
want to know who these people are. And sometimes we have questions, we go back and forth with the social workers because we want to make sure we're helping them in the best way possible. Sometimes we're aware of other programs that maybe a social worker isn't familiar with. But the social workers do all of the heavy lifting. They do the applications, they get them to us. We then in turn get them checks or gift cards, you know, back to the social worker, and they in turn have to get it back to the patient.
Now, if someone watching this would like more information,
They can go
About
to
the
our
Cancer
website.
Support
Yeah,
Fund,
they
where?
can go to the website.
which is?
I
Is
have to
it
look all this up. 'cause I don't-
CSF?
It's Cancer Support Central Mass.
No, can't, CSFOF.
Oh, I'm sorry. I pulled that up.
It's like a
That's
running
why.
through the
Okay.
alphabet here. Let's do it again. Where can they go for more
Okay.
information, Sandy?
Tammy, you take care of that one.
Cancer Support Fund of Central Mass dot org.
Yeah.
CSFOFCM.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
.org.
Yeah, right there.
Or we have a Facebook page. That's more, like, that's something we update on a regular basis.
Okay.
With
The
all the
website
fundraisers.
we will try to, you know, get all of the events coming up on it. But it's, for me, like, I can handle Facebook, my daughter has to handle the website. That's a little more complicated than we can handle, but we're on Facebook and we try to keep that updated as much as possible with different things going on.
And if someone wants to make a donation, they can do so via mail,
Yep.
CSFCM, Post Office Box 607, Westminster,
Westminster,
Mass.
Mass.
01473.
And we also have a donation area on our website if they prefer to do it that way,
Okay.
which whatever they prefer to do is fine with us.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to be with us and for this opportunity to find out more about the Cancer Support
Thank
Fund
you.
of Central Mass.
Yes, thank you so much.
And
We
thank you for
really
everything you're
appreciate
doing.
this.
I think we all have a passion that is very similar to your organization and others that we've been involved with, and we appreciate it very much.
We all make a good team together, and somehow, some way, all of this will make a big difference in everybody's world.
Thank you again for being with us on
Thank you.
North
Thank you.
Central Journal. Sandy Bowers and Tammy Dwelly.
Thank you.
The Cancer
Thanks, Scott.
Support Fund of Central Mass. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Not guys, ladies.